Hello everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to another live stream. Today, we're going to talk more about Python and Discord bots. We're going to do some live coding. We're going to make some bots. So I do have a rough agenda outlined. I'm going to copy this over right now so you guys can see it. So, my idea for today is to cover these topics. So, we're going to make a couple code examples, a couple bots, and we're going to look at how to play audio, so how you can play music through the voice chat, and how to play text-to-speech, so we can use eSpeak to do text-to-speech. So we'll maybe pipe that into the Kathy chatbot we have. Maybe we can have Kathy join a voice chat channel and she can actually text-to-speech. We'll see what happens there. Just want to get some basic audio stuff working though, because that's something people ask about a lot. And then I'm also going to cover setting up a quick MySQL database and integrating how to tie that together. And then for an example on how to use it, we'll create a very simple RPG role-playing game type of bot where people accrue points over time for being on the server, and maybe they can do something with it, create an inventory system, something like that. Just to give you some ideas on how to put it together and how it all fits together. Okay, so we have a Discord testing server. This is, if you see what's been going on here, we have Minecraft bot stuff. That's from the other day. So if you check out the Dev Dungeon YouTube channel, youtube.com/devdungeon, I've been trying to do live streams every day, starting about a week ago. In one of them we talked about setting up a Minecraft server, and in some subsequent ones we set up the plugins, and we actually wrote some custom plugins, and there's some Discord integration with Minecraft plugins. And you should go watch those if you're into Minecraft. There's also a Minecraft server you can come play on, minecraft.devdungeon.com. Also, there's another video we did on chatbots, making Discord AI chatbots in Python. Now, this one covers the Chatty Cathy bot that we made, but today we're going to make some new bots from scratch and start there. So, once again, this is the agenda. And I'm going to start by looking up the discord.py documentation. Kameko TV says, sorry, I can't watch, it's 4 a.m. It's pretty late, you should go to bed. But thanks for stopping by, it was good to see you. And thanks for saying hi. Okay, so I guess I should say, if you've never written a Python bot or a Discord bot, I've got multiple tutorials. I've got a written and a video tutorial on JavaScript Discord bots, and on basic Python Discord bots. So you can go through these basic ones if you don't understand what's going on as a prerequisite to this video. This is going to be me live coding and working through creating a couple bots and building a cookbook, and the end goal is to push some code to GitHub that as a reference to do all of these things. So I'm going to start by going to discordapp.com and going to the developer portal. discordapp.com/developers. And by the way, if the music is too loud, just let me know. So once you are in the discordapp.com/developers portal, you're going to go to My Applications. You're going to say New Application. We'll call this one... We'll call it... well, since we're just testing it around, we're just going to call it My Music Bot. Okay. So this is our music bot. We need to go over here to Bot. Click Add Bot. Say yes. Because all we created before was the application, which registers it, and then we have to create a bot, and we can give it a different icon if we wanted to, but that's not important right now. So now we've got that. We're good to go there. I'm going to keep this page open for now because we're going to need this token in a minute. And I'm going to turn off public because this is only for testing, so nobody should be able to use it. So let's see. In our permissions, it looks like we're going to need voice permissions, right? So we're going to need connect and speak. Use voice activity. I'm not sure if we need that, but we'll go ahead and give it to it. I'm not sure exactly if we're going to need that or how that works yet, because again, I haven't actually done this OAuth specific part, so this is all going to be live coding and working through the whole process. I am familiar with making bots, but not with the music bot part, so we do have to invite the bot we just created to our server, so we do have to click this bot. This bot button, we have to go over to the OAuth tab and then scroll down to the OAuth to URL generator and then click on bot, and then it creates this URL here. You just copy it and then we'll go to a new tab and open it. And it's the invite link for the bot. So now we're going to say add bot to a server, my testing server, authorize, prove I'm not a robot. Mountains or hills? Well, that one doesn't look like a mountain or a hill. It looks like a van. I passed the test. Okay, so the bot is now on our server. So if I go back to Discord itself and I go check on my server, I invited it to my test server, and so now we can see that the my music bot has joined the server and it looks offline. That's what we wanted. That looks good. So if we go back to our bot, let's see. Okay, so that's not something you save here. We'll come back to that when we need it. So in here, let's go to the GitHub page for discord.py. Okay, so I want to go to the master branch. Yeah, version 0.16.12. Okay. Installing, here we go, this is what I wanted. Otherwise, to get voice support, you should run the following command. And you do python pip install discord.py, and then you do brackets voice. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a directory for our project right now. We'll call this one Discord Music Bot. And we'll go in, and in here we'll create a new virtual environment. So with Python, it's python 3-m vn. We'll just call it the name vn. And then we can activate it, source vn bin activate. And then if we do a where pip and where python, we can confirm that our virtual environment is activated. Now if we do a pip list, it should be empty. Why aren't I using 1.0.0a? That's the rewrite one, because I think even they say it's not stable and they aren't recommending it, at least at this point. So that's async rewrite. NullPixel was asking about why not using 1.0. No, so this isn't it either. So, well, maybe he just didn't update the README, because the README still says 0.16. But yeah, so it is worth pointing out and mentioning that the master branch is the version 0.16. It's the one that you will get by default if you do a pip install. So watch, if we do a pip install discord.py and we add the voice bracket, because we want to try out some voice stuff. So if you download it, we should get version 0.16. So I still think they consider that the main one. But there is a rewrite branch where they are rewriting with improved asynchronous stuff. But as far as I know, it's still rapidly changing. Yeah, like 6 hours ago. So it's still in active development, and I don't think they consider it stable. And this other one's pretty stable, and it's, for my purposes right now, I think it's okay. I haven't tried it. I haven't tried it at all. So I don't know if it's got more features or if it's really that much better or what, but this is the one I'm familiar with. So, okay, there's a whole tab here on voice. Actually, I'm going to go back to the README real quick and make sure I didn't miss anything there. So let's try discord.py. Here we go, wrapped, R-A-P-P-T-Z. That's the username of the creator. Okay, so yeah, here we go. We did this pip install discord.py with voice. We did that in our virtual environment. Actually, it looked like it was trying to... Okay, failed building wheel, that's okay, because it's just going to do it the other way. Unless this was a full-on error. Running setup.py for... Yeah, okay, no, so I think... Overall, it went okay. There was probably one module that missed it. Let me do a pip list and see how it looks. Okay, so we do see PyC parser and PyNACL, the PySalt. Okay, so those did build and install regardless of whether it could build the wheel version of the install. And yeah, it looks like it installed 0.16.12 by default, so... Well, until they update the default, I think I'm going to stick with that one. Okay, so quick example. Let's see if they have an example with some voice. And one quick thing I want to mention too, it causes a lot of problems and it's a very frequently asked question. This library, 0.16.12, the default library, is not compatible with Python 3.7. You got to go back and use at least Python 3.6. And that's because they made a backwards incompatible change in the Python language itself. And so the library itself breaks and needs to be updated. And I'm pretty sure that's partially why they're doing the rewrite. Okay. Requirements, Python 3.4, okay. AIO HTTP, yeah, that came with it. WebSockets came with it. And here it says this one's for voice. The PyNACL. Optional for voice only. On Linux system, this requires the lib FFI binary. Yeah, and there's a package we got to install. You can install this on Debian-based systems like Ubuntu by doing sudo apt-get install lib FFI dev. So we're going to do, I think apt is actually the new way they recommend doing it instead of apt-get. So it's lib FFI dev, is that right? Yeah, because we need the headers, I guess, so that it can install. So maybe I do need to reinstall now that I have the proper dependency. Usually pip will handle these for you. Yeah. Okay. So just to see how it works, we'll do again pip install discord.py. Just to see if it runs any cleaner. It still looks like it's okay. I think it should be fine. Okay. So let's look in the examples folder. I'm pretty sure they have one on music. I just tuned in. Am I using rewrite? No. It's a real common question. I'm not using the rewrite one. I'm still using the 0.1612, the one that's, I guess, the default from pip. So their playlist. I think that's the music one. Okay. If Discord Opus is loaded, load Opus. Otherwise, I guess it'll fall back to the default. There's a voice entry, voice state class. There's a music class that has a few commands like play, resume, stop, skip. Okay, so this one looks good. What I'm going to do now that we've got our virtual environment and our folder, I'm going to start up PyCharm. You say good that I'm not using it? Yeah, it's not. I don't have anything against it, but the developer notes that it's still in active development and it's not quite stable and it's going to change a lot. So they say hold off. I'm going to hold off. I trust them that because they do seem to be relatively active, then I trust that they'll update pip accordingly when the time comes. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is the project I have open from last time, our last stream that I used PyCharm. And this was a Django application that does a quick site check. It does an HTTP request, just checks if a site's up, stores it in a database, and we set up a cron job to do it. So basically it just regularly checks a site and stores whether it's up or not. It basically shows how to do things with Django purely backend, without the need to do any web front end. So there was no HTML, CSS, there was no JavaScript, there was no templating there was no URL routing, there was no web server, there was no WSGI. It was just using all the ORM and the framework of Django backend and management stuff. Okay, so I want to close this project and I want to open up the folder that we created. Django Discord music bot. Okay, so now we've got our Discord music bot. Let's go to the settings and let's tell it which interpreter to use. Okay, and it was smart enough to find the VN folder that we have, and it looks like it's got our Discord and everything in it, so good. Now when we open our terminal, I'm going to let it finish indexing for a second. If we open up our terminal on the bottom, you can see it automatically activates the virtual environment, which is very cool. So let's start by creating a new file. We're going to call this musicbot.py. We're going to create a new file called settings.py because I want to put the token in here by itself. And then I'm gonna want to copy this and paste it because I want a settings.py.sample to store. That way we can push that into the repository so people has it as a reference without me putting my real token in there. And I'm also going to say, yeah, okay. Go back to PyCharm. I'm going to put a little note that says get token from there. Okay. Now I'm going to create a git ignore file so that we can start ignoring things. We want to ignore things like PyCache, any of the PyC files. We want to ignore the virtual environment folder. And let's ignore settings.py so I don't commit the official one, but we can leave the settings one. So I think that's good for now. I'll go ahead and do a git in it right now. I mean, why not? Okay, so now we've got the coloring at least. So musicbot, and then let's go back to the example. Here it is. Let's go to the raw. And let's just copy and paste it and start looking at it. No. Let's see. I also want to ignore the .idea folder. That's the JetBrains folder where it stores all the PyCharm stuff. So we'll just add that one. Okay, next song please. Let's minimize the terminal, and I'm going to Control-Shift- and collapse everything so we can get the most condensed view and the highest level view. We can also do Alt-7 to get the structure on the left, and you can see, I think I can do the same thing. Yeah, Control- to shrink them all. And so this is a high-level view of the structure in this file. So we can see there's 3 classes, C for class. There's a voice entry, a voice state, music class, onReady, and a bot variable. And we can expand each one of them and see inside them. So voice entry has things like channel, player, requests, requester. Voice state has, let's see, these are variables. Audio player, bot, current, play next song, skip votes, songs. Okay, so we'll have to go through this and figure out how this works. So let's, I'm gonna Control-Shift+ to bring it all back expanded. I'm gonna check out the imports. Nothing too particular there. Async IO, Discord, commands. Okay. And if not Discord Opus is loaded, let's go ahead and print Opus not loaded. Just as kind of a debug statement to let us know what's going on. If it's not loaded, we may just rip it out. Okay, yeah, the Opus library is Opus DLL on Windows, or Live Opus in Linux. You should replace this with the location of the Opus library. We'll go ahead and leave that in just for this example. Okay. Voice entry. So how do we actually play some music through this bot? Just want to test it out. Init self bot. Okay, so you init the music class with the bot. We can create a bot, that's okay. And then we just tell it to play and stop. Okay, so how do we tell it? The music class is the important one then, it looks like. Now how do we give it songs? Where do we, or the audio files? Okay, join, summon, play. Let's say play. State, self voice get state, okay. If state voice is none, then invoke summon. Okay. So then it's going to call summon. And what does that do? Summons the bot to join your voice channel. Okay. Good enough. So what happens right after that? Try player equals state voice create YTDL player. Okay, so it uses YouTube downloader. So I guess you give it a YouTube URL. You give it a YouTube URL and it'll start playing. So you don't even have to provide it. You don't even have to provide it files. Oops, I want to go back to where I was. Let me see if I can find state voice. What is state? Get voice. Okay, follow that. I'm trying to trace back voice state. Okay, so voice state is where we should be able to find this create YouTube DL player. Now where's that coming from? State. And where's state get defined? State gets defined here. And what does this return? It returns a state. So it returns a voice state, so that should be where, oh, so the voice state dot voice entry. Oh, that's just a real tiny class. So it must be coming from the parent class? Does music inherit anything? No. Just the bot. Does it come on the bot? Let's see. Bot, and we're looking for YTDL. Okay, I'm actually going to search the GitHub repo to figure out where that's coming from. YTDL player? That's what it was called, right? I wonder where it's coming from. See, it's right there. Create YTDL player. Now, normally you can hold control and click on something, and it will. See, it'll highlight normally, and you can click on the thing, and it'll bring you to where it is. Now, I guess it's set to none right now. That's why it can't follow it. But let's go back to here. Yeah, create YTDL player. There's the definition. It's in voiceclient.py. Okay, so that function actually comes from the core library, not from this bot, not from this little example, I should say. Okay, so I'm going to do a Control F and look for this. So there it is on line 440 of voice client. Creates a stream player for YouTube or other services that launches in a separate thread to play the audio. The player uses the YouTube DL Python library to get information required to get audio from the URL. Okay, YouTube DL is a pretty cool program. If you guys aren't familiar with that one, YouTube DL is good for downloading. It's good for downloading YouTube videos. You just type in YouTube DL and then the video URL. But it also supports a whole lot of other sites. I'm trying to find the list, but almost any video website you can think of, you can just pop in the URL and it downloads the video. It's really, really handy. But you can also tell it to download like just the audio and pipe it through an audio player so you can stream music with it, and that's exactly what they're doing here. And you can just, I think you can just pip install YouTube. Pip install YouTube -DL or _DL. I'm not sure. -DL. Okay. And then you can just. Oh, look, they even have a one called YouTube Stream. That's interesting. Now, that doesn't seem right. There should be a YouTube DL. Yeah, there it is. YouTube DL. My autocomplete just wasn't finding it. So yeah, you can just use that to download videos and stuff. And I think I needed to install it anyway, because it probably needs the library. Yeah, it says right here. The player uses YouTube DL Python library to get information, blah blah. You can install it with pip install YouTube _DL. And now I wonder, because I did YouTube -DL, I wonder if they're linked somehow. Yeah, they look like aliases. If YouTube DL fails to extract the information attribute, is none. Okay. Awesome. So look, it gives you all these things. The URL, title, description, likes, dislikes, duration, is live. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. You can check if it's live. See how many views it's got. Okay, basic usage. Client, join voice channel. Okay, you know what? Screw this example they provided us. Well, I mean, we can still try it, but I want to do something simpler now that I understand how it works better. This bot is really cool. The example that they provided here, it looks like you can just give it commands like !play, or pause, or skip. and do all that. But before we try out something that's that complex, I'm going to go back and I'm going to create one, and I'm going to call this Simple Music Bot. Okay, yeah, let's add that one to Git, that's fine. And we're going to need the bot token, so let's say from settings import bot token. We haven't even filled it out yet, but that's okay. And let's see, so let's paste this little example. And I know what I want to play. There's Ace Man Unreachable is a pretty cool song. So we'll go with this URL for now. And I'm going to pop that in the PyCharm. And then we just say start. Is it that easy? No, we got to create a bot first, right? So let's get a basic bot going. I think we can say, I think we can use a bot because he's a client, right? So discord.bot, I think it is. But then we can do Alt-Enter. That should help us do the import. And it doesn't like bot. What is it? Discord.bot? No, let me go back and check real quick. So if we go back to... Well, maybe we can do this with just autocompletes. So what if we say from Discord import... yeah, I think it's ext. So let's try from discord.ext import commands. Okay, dot commands. And then we'll try... And I think it's bot. Yeah, there's bot. Booyah, now we got our bot. So then we can say bot equals bot. And I think we pass in the token... Do we pass in the token to the constructor? Where do we set the token? On the connect, I think we do it on the connect command. I can just pull up an example. I have, you know, I've got tutorials of this all over my website. So let's go with the Discord Python one, part 2, just to get a quick reference. Command prefix, we can ignore that. Run. Run is where we put the token. So interesting. I think we just do put it there. Do we put this afterwards? Is that right? Unresolved reference to await. Hold on. Maybe I have to fix all this other stuff first. Unresolved reference to channel. Yeah, we got to get the channel too. So we're gonna have to like bot.list channels to get the ID of the channel. Grab the ID of the voice channel we want. Now why? Okay. Command prefix equals. We'll do exclamation question mark. Okay. Do I have to import async? Is that necessary? Is that why it's... Now, await is supposed to be a normal keyword, right? So what's going on? Do I need the AO HTTP? Will that help it? No, let's see. What's going on? We got Python 3.6, that should be okay. Now, what's going on here? How do I do it here? Client equals bot. Oh, it's because it's not inside. Let's see how we're doing it differently here. Oh, and this needs to be a tuple, not a list. So let's fix the command prefixes. It wants a tuple. Okay. Yeah, it needs to be inside an async function, so like we need to make a command. We'll say client.command, and we'll call this one start. Yeah, so we got an async def start, and you know, just like that. Oh wait, it's not client, it's bot. In this case, we named it bot. Oops. And then await is a little happier now, but it's still not quite happy. Voice client does not define await. We'll give it a shot, see how this works. Channel, we still need a channel. We'll grab that in just a second. So that's okay. Let's make a test command just to kind of make sure the bot works in other senses. So we'll do a async def say hello. We'll just call it hi. And then we want it to respond, right? So I think we got to pass the context. So in order to respond to the message. Yeah, so let's see, we want pass context equals true. And then we'll want to say something like await bot dot okay, I think when we just say and we pass it the context, it knows that it's responding back in the same channel. Oh wait, no, let's just say hello. And let's put in the user's name. So it's going to be context message author mention. I think that's how we're going to want to do it. It says it's unresolved, but I don't think that's necessarily true because it's passed in, and that's why it doesn't see it yet. I don't think we need those either. Okay, let's run it and give it a shot. So we need to go back here. We need to grab our token now. Okay, so I still have this open. I'm gonna copy the token, and to try and be sneaky, I'm gonna see if I can put this off screen like that, save it, and then close it. Now you guys will never know the bot token. And not that this is actually a sensitive bot, because it's just on my test server anyway, but you gotta practice that operational security sometimes, right? So this doesn't look right. I'm kind of not happy that that's red squigglied. I feel like I'm missing something. But, oh yeah, you know, I think the bot run has to go after all that stuff, because we got to define these functions first. So let's go back. We got that. Let's run it now, and we should just be able to right-click run. And if it works, the bot will show up online, and it does. Our bot shows up online. And if we do hi, it throws an exception. I'm okay with that. We can figure that out. Yeah, name context is not defined. So do we have to do, how do we grab the context? Why doesn't it pass through like it does over in our example here? So in our example here, pass context equals true. And it's a bot class too, just like we had. Oh, you gotta pass you gotta pass the context. Okay, so we just had to add context as the first parameter that's getting passed into the function. Okay, so now if we restart, the bot should come online and it should be a little happier and a little more friendly. And now if we do, you know, bang hi, it says hello. So we'll just leave that one in there as kind of a test. Now we're gonna need also to list the channels and the voice channels. I'm not sure if we can just give it the string, or yeah, see, it wants like a channel object. It doesn't just want the channel name as a string. So we're gonna have to get the ID, or we're gonna have to pull the channel itself. So let's make another command called list voice channels, and let's just have it print out to our console. And we want to do something like bot.servers. No, is it called guilds? Bot.guilds. Okay, how do we get servers? Get all channels. How about that? We'll go with get all channels. Okay, let's stop. Run. Oh. I need to comment this back out because we're not actually using that yet. So let's start our bot again. Make sure he's happy. Hi. And let's say list all. What do you say? List voice servers. List voice channels. We'll try the question mark. And this should happen out in our channel. Okay. So we'll say because there's probably going to be more than one. We'll say channels equals get all channels. Or what if we just do for channel in get channels? We'll say if channel dot name is that how we do it? I do so many languages, I get them all mixed up now. Is that how we do it? Let's see. And also let's try for channel, we'll say import pprint. Why not? Because I just want to inspect the whole object, so we're going to do pprint.pprint the channel, just to kind of get all the info and see what it's like, and then do a little debugging. And we'll say if channel name is, actually, you know what we should try is doing some actual PyCharm debugging. So I'm going to put a breakpoint here. Actually, I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to keep doing this part real quick. I'm going to say, so if channel name is general, then we're going to say save the channel. Desired voice channel equals channel. And then we're going to break out of the for loop. And then down here we can say join voice channel, desired voice channel. It's in a totally different function, so let's see. Let's just turn this into a helper function. We're going to call it get proper channel. You guys love my naming for stuff, don't you? I know. And in this case, we're just going to return it. And actually, let's feed it in the name we want. Channel name that we want. And then we can say if channel name is channel name. It's a little more flexible, right? Now we can say, yeah, bot equals get channel. Now hold on a second. Oh, we want to replace that now with get proper channel with the name, like that. So let's stop it. Let's restart it. Okay, now if we give it the start command, we see an exception. That's okay. Let's see what's going on. Channel pass must be a voice channel. Oh, that's right. So when you get channels, you're going to get the voice channel and the text channel. And it looks like it grabbed the text general first. And it listed all of these. Okay, so Also, we didn't run it with debug, that's why it didn't stop at the breakpoint. So now let's run it with the debug. Shift F9 is the shortcut there. Python extension speeds up Python debugging. Okay, install. Why not? Let's get the next song. In fact, let's try a different playlist of chiptune. Okay, so it's running. Now, if I go give it the start command again, it should breakpoint pause. Okay, so now it actually is holding up at my breakpoint, and we can inspect all the stuff here. So now we have our variables, and we can see our channel name. That's the thing we're looking for. And here's the actual channel object, the list of channels. And so we can see server channels, and here it's got a bunch of channels, and that looks like the one we want there. So how do we get this? Let's go back. What we wanted is the general channel with the voice. So give me one channel specifically. Okay, this one here. What I want to check, how do I check if it's a voice? Type. And type equals voice. Okay. If channel is channel name and channel.type is voice. Now I'm going to stop this. Now if I run it again with just regular runs, so it doesn't stop at any of the breakpoints, I do start, and I'm getting some more errors. Channel passed must be a voice channel. Okay, let's see here. Maybe it's not the right type that I'm putting in. And why isn't it printing out? Let's see. Let's print channel.type, and let's actually print the type channel.type, and do start. Ask it to join the channel. I did a little too early, maybe. Okay. Yeah, so that's just a string. Oh no, it's an enum. It's an enum for channel type, so let's see. Is that actually a string, or do we have to do something like discord.channeltypes? Let's see, is there an actual import for it? Let's see, why didn't it like the string? It's an enum of channel type, so let's look up the channel type real quick. Discord.py channel type. I want to see what that class looks like. Channel type. Discord.channeltype.voice. That's what I need. And we say, okay, that's fine. I will import. Okay, now this should work a little bit better. Okay, let's go back to Discord and ask the bot to start. Okay, it still didn't... It still didn't get a voice channel. Now why didn't it get it? Why didn't it get a voice channel? Where exactly is this going wrong? Okay. Oh, does it have something to do with this? Well, let's see. Maybe we can do it just before. We'll call it voice channel equals get proper channel. And then we can do a debug statement right there and actually see what we have in the voice channel. So let's stop this, start it in debug mode, and give it a good old kickstart. Okay, so there's voice channel is none. Oh, well, that's why it didn't get a voice channel. So hold on a second. I want to back up out of this scope, so let's stop. You're making a face in chat. Are you laughing at me because I'm doing something stupid? So hold on. Get proper channel. Do I need a hashtag? Where's my console? Here we go. I should have printed channel name. Print channel name. Is it? Do I have to put like a hashtag general? So let's force quit that and run it again. Do a quick start. Hey, this is all part of programming. I hope you guys didn't expect a perfect tutorial. This is actually more like live coding to actually work through this. So yeah, that's it. It's just plain general. Oh, I need to do equal equal. I think I'm being retarded here with my Python. I use too many languages. I get my stuff mixed up. So I think that's all it was, honestly. No, let's see what it says. General, if channel name equals channel name, we're passing in. Oh, and now it's because I put the hashtag there. So let me restart it again. Give it a quick kickstart, and now it joined the channel. It joined the channel. We're making progress. Let's see. Okay, so now we're getting something different. We need to install the codec stuff. No problem. So we need to do ffmpeg or avconv, and I'm just gonna try avconv. Have to install avconv. Is that it? No. So let me Google the package real quick. Ubuntu avconv package. Google knows what I meant. Live AV tools. There we go. So we'll do live AV tools. Did I... Live AV-tools? Live AV-tools? No candidate. The following packages replace it. Okay. We'll just go with ffmpeg then. I think that's the far more powerful anyway. I just thought I'd give avconv a try because I've used it before on my Raspberry Pi for doing time-lapse videos. I think. I'm pretty sure I could check. I'm gonna do a stream on the time-lapse thing with Pis. Okay. So now we've got the music playing thingy that we need. It should be able to play music. Now let's go back and say restart the bot. Yeah, do not show again, just stop and rerun. And I'm gonna give it a start. And I'm gonna stop my music here, and we're gonna join. Actually, yeah, okay, look, so we're not getting any more exceptions, and it's using YouTube DL to download the web page. And moment of truth, we're gonna join the voice channel, and we're gonna see if it's playing music. It's playing music. We've got a victory. We've got a music bot victory. Quality's pretty decent too. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect from that channel, and I'm gonna turn off the bot. And what I'm gonna do here is turn this into something. Let's see. Well, I think what I'm gonna do is leave this one as an example. Hopefully this is 40 lines, and we can clean this up. Actually, that's what I'm gonna do right now is clean it up. So we've got a bot. We've got a command called hi that we actually don't need. We were just kind of testing the bot out there. Can delete all of those print debug statements. Now we've got a command called start. Let's just go ahead and rename that to play. Actually, we can give it aliases too. So, where are we? I want to go do... Well, to be fair, dude that's effed up, who says music bot in 1 hour, you know, it's because the library provided so much for us. So, most of the credit should go to this library developer, Raps. His name is Raputas. Rapoints. Danny Rapoints. Okay. I forgot what I was doing now. Play. I was gonna give it an alias. Yeah, so I want to go back to this one, and yeah, there's a, and I'll give it. Let's give it the full-on command treatment, so that it's actually got a help message and everything. So we'll say the name. We'll call it play. It'll match this. Description. Starts playing a YouTube song. Brief. Play music. Aliases. Start. Music. Why not? We'll do play music. Jam. Rock out. Okay, I think that's good. That should cover any option anybody tries ever. Okay, so now we've got some help context and everything. We can turn off our debug statement, or our breakpoint, that is. And so we've got play. And you know what? It says there is no dunder, there's no special await, so I'm actually going to try cutting that out. Yeah, no, I don't know why. Maybe cannot be used on its instances. No, I don't know why it's highlighting there, but we're gonna leave it as it is. So this is our simplified play music bot, and we made a little helper function here, and we could always extend it and you know take. Actually, if we're gonna pass the context, then we should say context, and if we're gonna do this, why not accept a URL at least make it a little bit more flexible, so we can accept the URL, and we'll say example and actually we don't need any context if we're really not using it, right? So just gonna do a quick test here. Make sure this works. So let's give it a run. Let's go back to our Discord server, and this time let's tell it to rock out. Context is required argument. Oh, I need to rip it out from there, so let's restart and tell it to !jam. Oh, right. So what we can do here is if URL is, no, let's do this. So we can say discord.x.commands.errors.missing required argument. Wait, can we throw a catch here? No, we can't throw a catch before the function call. So wait. Well, so like what you need to do is pass in the URL, but I'd like to properly handle it if there's no URL passed and it says, hey, I need a URL, here's an example. Okay, so We just told it to jam on this YouTube URL, and if we join again, we can confirm that it is jamming out our song. So let's try another song real quick, and let's see if it handles it properly. Like, does it stop playing the current song? And there's another Ace Man song that's pretty good. His Game Boy song. So, oops, not what I want to do. Let's just copy that URL and go over here, and we're going to say rock on. It's rock out. Rock out. Oops. Rock out on this URL now, please. Oh, okay, so this is what happens. Client exception already connected to a voice channel in this server. Okay, so I guess it's gonna wait, and it's gonna stay connected to this channel probably forever, so we probably want to, like, at some point have it turn off or quit the channel. Or if it gets another one, we're gonna have to say, I think what we can do is say check if bot is connected already. If bot is connected, then can it queue it up? Can we stop the one? How do we stop it if it's... So this makes it synchronous, right? And then player.start is just going to kind of kick it off in a thread. Okay, so in their example, actually, they have a pause. So, oh, state.voice. You got to check the voice state. State equals bot get voice state. So let's see if we can do that. It's I guess it would be bot.get. Let's see real quick. Let's compare it to what they're doing. And this is the official example. So voice states. Okay, so that's all the voice states for all the servers because they handle multiple servers. Voice state self.bot. So state equals voice state. Yeah, so this looks like a really critical line here. So we've got the state. We'll just go ahead and grab it every time since this is just a function by itself. So we got to import Discord voice state, no problem, and we're just going to get the bot state. Unexpected argument. Why is that an unexpected argument? They gave it an argument. Oh, the bot. What happened? You stopped playing music, bot. Did you freeze up? The specified session has been invalidated for some reason. I wonder if that has to do with the second connection that I tried to get it to do. So let me try another one and see if it reconnects. No, it says already connected. Okay, so we should handle this because we want it to actually work and be usable. So the argument passing works fine. You know what? Maybe we need to pass the context now. Maybe we do need the context to sort some of this out. So, oops. Now is what we need. Okay, what do they expect in the initializer or the constructor? Session ID? No, so they just gave it bot, and bot here seems to be a global unexpected argument. And context is never used, so hang on a minute. Let me think about this. What's going on? It's it's already it works once. We get it to connect and it works okay, but when we trigger it again, we get this command invoke error. Oh, you know what? I think we can hook into the errors, so we can say if we get this error, then do something. Let's see how they do it in the official example. So they break it up into separate steps. There's join, summon, and play, and it looks like, yeah, so they try the join. Create voice client, I guess, is when it joins. So this is where it actually joins. So we can wrap a try around this join command, and then we can run an exception saying command raised a client exception, so we can accept client exception, and we can import this name, and then we can say let's have the bot say it, and since we passed the context now, we should be able to say context.say I'm already joined to the channel. I'm already in a channel. And we can go ahead and print. Yeah, we can just go ahead and print the exception anyway. Actually, we'll say print. Well, it's not really an error necessarily, but let's just stop and try it again. And if it does that, we'll just return. That way it won't keep going and throw any more errors. We'll gracefully handle that one. Okay, so let's try getting it to play some music. That didn't work. Okay. Oh. Okay, great. So let's see if we can fix this no error thing. So how do we catch it? How do we catch the error? Number of args. Context.args. Now I have some reference code, so let me think about this. Where is it? In the... Now, which function is it? It is the JavaScript one. That's where it is, I think. Which isn't helpful, is it? Okay. So now this one here, square number. Yeah. Okay. Let me do a quick search. What do they do if they don't get? Now, where's the example? Did I close it again? I wanted the example music player playlist, and we wanted to see on a command. Here we go. Command. No PM true. That's okay. Args. Do we grab the args as a command, or from the context as an argument? No. That's the only arg in there. So how do you tell it if there's no... So where... Okay, let's follow this. Line 25. Oh, that's the line it's complaining about. I thought it was complaining about a totally different line. So this is... Yeah, that's totally unnecessary right now. So my bad for missing that line. Okay, so now that it's running, let's go back to the Discord server and try and kick it off again. Alright, it just joined the channel. Is it going to start playing music for us? It did! It's back! It's back and it's alive. Now what we wanted to do is see how it handles 2 Now if we do it again, it should gracefully just do nothing. Actually, it should say, sorry, I'm in the channel already. Context, okay, I gotta do... it's not context.say, it's context.message.say. So we are context, and I want it to say I'm already a channel, so I want to say context.message.say. I'm pretty sure that's what I need to do. Okay, so I just restarted the bot. I'm going to ask it to play... I'm going to ask it to play the song. It's there. And it's playing. Okay, let's do it again. No, message has no attribute say. Hold on a second. Gotta refer to the reference real quick. Now how does it await client.say? Oh. Right, it's not the context. The context automatically sets where the bot talks. So, where is it? I don't need context.say, I just need bot.say. And so if you say bot.say, you say, well, how does it know what server and what channel and everything? Well, that's what the context does. Past context true is going to tell it, you know, when you say it's saying it back to the message that it received that triggered the command. So we'll restart, which is going to kick it out of the server. So let's ask it one more time very nicely to play. And it's playing. Now let's try and kick off a second version. Or play another song or something. And it didn't really do anything. It didn't. Now is it responding? No, it's not. Okay, so... Oh, because it's just returning. But why is it not saying anything back? Let me do a print statement too. Print client exception caught, and print it out. We'll just print it out. So now let's restart it. Ask it one more time. Come back. Play. Okay, it's working. Now let's. Okay. Why isn't it... Oh, I gotta do await. If you don't do await, then it's just gonna... It's just gonna fly past that line without ever waiting for it to finish. So, it's all... This stuff is asynchronous. So, this should do it. Get it back to play. Now if we do it again, it should say, I'm already in a channel. That's okay, you don't need to join another channel. We just want you to... create a new player? No, let's see. Well, we're gonna have to store that player, I guess. Because we're gonna want to call it back later and tell it to stop. So... I think we can just be real hacky and just define the player out there. No. It thinks it's shadowing, not global. Okay. Let's do this as a class real quick. So we're just going to call this class MusicBot. And then just indent everything, one line. And then, let's see. Give it an init function. It's dunder init. Dunder. Dunder means double underscore. Those are the magic functions in Python. So it's dunder init dunder, not dunder, but dunder just sounds awesome. It sounds like a cool name. Someone with the last name Dunder, who names their kid Dunder. This is Dunder. So, what am I doing? I'm converting this all into a class right now. So what do we need to do? all we need to do is start changing things to self. Start passing self as the first argument. And yeah, it tells you this could be static. It probably could, but it's because we haven't put the bot inside the class yet. So we'll do bot equals that, and we'll take the token as part of the constructor. Okay, so down here we're gonna say if name equals main, then we're gonna create a new music bot and have it run. Okay, and then so we're not done changing this into a class yet. We basically just have to start changing variables to be variables of the class instead of now hang on a second. How do you do this in a class? You have to do it differently. The decorator's different inside a class, and it's something like at method decorator, or like at decorate method. Hold on, I gotta look it up. And I'm gonna use the Kathy bot to help it out, because I did that in here. So I did do it that way. Okay, at self dot bot. So why is it not like at self? Oh, it has to go inside a function. That's right. So this whole play function can go inside the init like this. Yeah. So in the init function, it basically defines these functions. So this should be better. This should work. And getProperChannel is going to be self.getProperChannel. And bot is going to be self.bot. And we don't need self passing in. Okay, so that looks better. There's another self.bot here. Okay, I think we're done converting this into a class now. So now we're going to want to store the player, because we want the player to only have one one instance, at least for this example. So we'll say when we create the player, we'll store it as self.player, and we'll only do that if self.player equals none. And then if it's not none, we can just say bot.say I'm already playing music. Sorry. Right? And we'll do self.bot. Now why is this not happy? Is none. Okay. So now I think this is ready to test out again. We'll give it a start, go back to our Discord server and say, let's copy and paste the music command again. Oops. Copy. 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 Paste. Command rock out is not found. Let's see. Let's see where I messed up. Let me go back to the Kathy bot and see how I set this up again. Okay, so I created a function called setup, but that doesn't matter. And all that does is self bot command. That should be okay. Command rock out is not found, but it's right there. Let's stop it real quick. Restart it. Go back in. Give it a go. Check out the error. Yeah, it says it doesn't like that, so I know we gave it some others, so let's see what's going on here. Oh, I know what the problem is. We told it to run way too early. We told it to run before we did any setup, so let's self.prepare bot. We'll just call it that. And then we'll rip this out just to keep it clean. Actually, I think we can just do this. We can just do def prepare bot self. Okay. So now we can make sure we prepare the bot and set up all of the commands that need to be set up before we actually tell it to run. We'll do run as the last thing it does. And really, it's probably better even to just do just make a function called run. Pull self.token. We'll store the token like that. And then down here, where we can say, oops, we'll say musicbot equals musicbot, and then down here we can control and tell it when to run. Okay, so let's give it another run. Tell it to jam this YouTube URL. Okay, now it's in our channel. Now we want to make sure that if we do it again, it'll handle this properly. Okay. I expected it to respond and give me a message telling me that it's already taken. Okay, so it's... Oh. Let's try make this self.voice. Now that wasn't the problem though. Now it wasn't triggering this. We'll also store the voice channel too. Is as a class property. Okay, so it's not even triggering. Well, it's not triggering this, even when we do it again. We'll do. Oh, maybe I need to do that. There we go. I had to do the jam command. Okay, so jam. We do it. It says, "Hey, I'm already in a channel," and it just waits. Okay, so it says, "I'm already in a channel." All that's saying is we don't need a new voice, but we don't necessarily want it to leave. We just, let's say, let's have it start over. Okay, so now if we rerun it, it won't error out by trying to create and join the channel twice. And so maybe it will intelligently restart the player. Otherwise, we might have to explicitly tell it to stop before we ask it to start another one. Okay, so now give it 1 second to start. Yeah, it's playing. We're going to try another one. Play. It says I'm already in a channel. And it's not restarting the music. Okay, so then if it's already in a channel, it's probably already playing. Oh, wait. Okay, so let's tell it to start every time no matter what. If player is none, start a new one. and then we'll say if self.player, can we get the status? Or do we have to do the voice? Get the voice client first. Okay, well, what we really want to do is have it stop. So, else, yeah, we'll just do this. We'll go back to the else. Because then we're guaranteed a player already exists if it's here. So in that case, we'll just say player stop. I mean, is that a valid function? Yeah, it is. Stop. Now, is that an async? Do I need to await? I don't think so. So we'll stop that. And then we'll try and restart it. Do I need to, after we stop it, do we need to create another player? Or actually... if there's no player, go ahead and set it. And then down here we could say if self.voice. No, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little confused. Let's try this out. Let's try the stop right before the start and see if that helps. Because ideally what we'd like it to do is something like if you play once, it starts a song. If you give it another, it'd be nice to just start the other song. Perfect. Oh no, it just aired out. It stopped the music, so the stop worked, but the playing again didn't work. Okay, so start should only happen once after we create it, and then if we stop it, we probably just want to start it again. But we'll want to reset it. So can we stop it and then like create a new player and then start it again? Is that what we need to do? Let's go give it a shot. Let's copy our command again. Paste. Okay, it's going to play some music. Ding. Do it again. It restarted. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted it to do. Great. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do... I think off the player object you can get some cool things off the player object. They had the title, right? So if you create this, what it's going to return... Yeah, here we go. Player.youtube URL. Hold on, I'm just going to rip some of this over. So let's see, let's go ahead and print what it's playing. And actually, before we do that, since we're repeating some code here, and that's stinky. So what are we repeating? We're repeating this. So let's cut that out and call a new function new player. Oh. Okay. I think that was it. And then the URL, we can take that as a parameter. Self.voice. That should be set. Then we're going to say self.newPlayer with the URL. And then in this case we're going to say stop. I think we have to do await. Await? Okay. And then if every time we create a new player right before we start it, or, you know, whatever, right after we start it, we should say, ooh, let's say we'll make a new one that's called print song info, or we'll call it announce song, and what we'll pass it is the player. Actually, we don't need to pass it to player because it's a class property. So as long as we have self, we can say well, hold on a second. We need the context. We can create a sub function. We can say def announce song, and it's only visible to this scope. And it should have the context still, so we should be able to just do self.bot.say now playing, and then I don't know, we'll give it the song name. Hold on, my face rig's all messed up. There, it's a little better. Okay. Announce song, and then we'll say the title, right? So self.player. What is it? Title. And why not the description too? So we'll do, is it description? Yeah, description. Okay, and that needs to go inside a tuple. Put it inside a tuple, announce song, and then right here we can just say announce song, like that. Okay, let's give that a shot. Let's go down to the run tab and have it rerun. Okay, now let's ask it to rerun. Okay, so it didn't do the announce properly, and I think that's because we need to do await self-bot, and then I guess we're gonna have to async that function too. So if we do await announce, then it should properly announce. So we'll give it a command, start playing music. Scroll down all the way to the bottom. Oh, yeah, there we go. So now it says, now playing. Ace Man sync with me, and then the description. And if we do it again, boom. It starts the next song and prints out the info. So I'm going to call that a success. Now people can play music on command in a voice channel from a YouTube song. And it behaves nicely. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it running and playing a song, because we actually had a problem a second ago, right, where it disconnected after a certain amount of time. It kind of timed out. So I'm going to leave it running and see if that happens again. Okay, there's no notes about that in here. In theirs, do they have anything about a timeout? No. Disconnect. Okay, so this is how you can disconnect from the voice chat. But it's okay, our bot can stay in all the time. Okay, so I'm gonna delete the music bot. Like the music bot, this musicbot.py is the example from the official Raputa's discord.py. If you go to discord.py examples, there's one called playlist, and here this one actually supports multiple servers, and it has many commands like skip, play, stop, volume, resume. So this one's a bit more full featured, and you can it's fully ready to go. All you need to do is drop in your token. And so actually just to test it out and see how it works, let's go ahead and try running it. So let's stop the one we have, and we need to get our token into this one. So let's say from settings, import bot token, and then down at the bottom, let's say run bot token. Okay, so now if we run it, oh, one thing I didn't show with our bot is the help command. Because we set up the help information, if you do like this, once it loads, if you do help, the bot tells you what commands it has, and it gives you some description. So if we do help play, now we get some more. Oh wait, it's still running my old one. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna run. Oh yeah, it's because I use this play button. What I should do here is right click on the file that we actually want to run, musicbot.py, and say run. Now if we go back, see, now it's got some slightly different debug messages that they do. Now if we do, okay, so actually what I did just show was our help function that we made. And so now if I do help, we're going to see the help message that comes from their bot. It looks like their prefix is something different. What did they set their prefix to? Prefix $. Okay, so if we do $help, it should give us the help message. So their bot has several functions. Join, pause, play, playing, shows information about the song, resume. So let's try this. Let's say play, and then it looks like it wants a YouTube URL too. So let's go ahead and just give it this one again. Actually, we just want the YouTube URL, so let's say play. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to say help play and see if there's more information. Yeah, okay, so play takes one argument, that's the song. So in theirs, how do they handle it if somebody does not provide the required argument? I guess nothing. I mean, they aren't handling, there's no error handling here saying you did not provide enough arguments. So they don't do anything special either. So in the music bot that we have, it's we just wanted it to play a song, right? So let's try it out. Okay, so now it joined, and now we've got a queued up song. So if we hit play again, it looks like it's actually going to queue up another one. Okay, so it's got a few queued up. Now if we hit playing, it gives us the info, and it looks like we can skip. It skipped, great. So the bot that they provide out of the box in the examples is actually pretty nice. You can just run that one out of the box. All I did is to run it there is replace it with bot token. So you might be asking why I didn't just use their example from the beginning. Well, it's got more features than I wanted to start just by, because we wanted to build it from scratch so you understand how it all works instead of just copying the example and running it and saying, there you go, guys. So now I'm just going to clean it up, and I'm going to commit this example. Now I'm going to keep musicbot.py in here as reference, but I am going to link to where it came from. this file is an example from the official repository there. Okay, so there's their official example. Even though I did tweak it just slightly to add the token, it's okay. So where are we now? Okay, this looks good to me. So NoPixel says, at least in the rewrite, you can put error handling in a separate thing using an on-error decorator. That's right. That sounds really familiar. And I'll have to check that out. So if we go to the... Well, I'm not going to mess with that now, actually. But I'm going to call this music bot part done. And I'm going to go ahead and push it up to... I'm going to make a GitHub repository. Well, if I'm going to make one for a music bot, like, what I'll do instead is... Instead of keeping their file, what I'm going to do is create a README. Let's add it. Okay, so let's add a section for reference and say, for a more detailed example, see the official repository. See the example from the official repository. Okay. We'll just do that, and here we'll call it simple Discord music bot. Just give it a simple README. And by the way, if you guys just joined, the agenda for today is to cover a few things. So I wanted to play music, and I thought it would require an audio file, which is fine. If we have an audio file, we can play it out. But the library itself had a YouTube video play, YouTube audio play function. So we just went with that, which is pretty nice. It uses the YouTube DL tool. And so we set up a simple bot to work with YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to delete the music bot example that they provided. This is just going to be our example that we wrote today. Okay. Then simple bot to play music in the general channel. Well, yeah, I guess we did kind of hard code that, huh? So it's okay. This is meant to be an example, and if you want to extend it and make those flags that you pass in at the command line, you can do that. A general channel from YouTube. Links. Example, and we'll say, how do you call it? It said jam, https youtube.com/. Okay. Looks good. So let's preview our README. It's okay. It's good enough for now. Not anything too crazy. We're just gonna call this Discord music bot. Why not? That looks good. Simple bot to play YouTube music in a Discord voice channel. Okay, create repository. We'll copy the SSH URL. And now what we'll do is add everything to Git. Now if we do a status, we can see nothing's added yet. So we do git add dot, git status. Make sure nothing weird was added. Then we'll just say simple stable bot. Git remote add origin. And then that URL to the GitHub thing. And then we can say git push origin master. And now the code is all up online. And we only have the sample bot token. Actually, we probably should make a note about installation, or setup rather. I guess we'll just call it setup. Quick start, because we're going to say setup and running. Quick start. And what you want to do is, what do you want to do? Replace move settings.py.sample to settings.py and replace token. And then say run Python simple music bot.py. But there's more to it actually. We had to install dependencies, and that was pip install discord.py bracket voice, and it was sudo apt install ffmpeg, right? And lib ff dev. Okay, so let's preview. That looks okay. Let's do a quick push, git add, git commit, more readme info, git push origin master. Okay, now our readme has at least a little. Oh, that shouldn't be all boldy like that. All boldy locks. Now why are you all italicized like that? Whatever, it doesn't matter. We can move on from here. So now we have a simple music bot. We wanted to try and play text-to-speech, but I'm actually going to skip that. I'm going to go do the MySQL stuff, because this is something people ask about a lot. So we're going to set up a MySQL database and show how you can connect to it and add information to it. So we'll do sudo apt install MySQL server. Actually, you know what? Before I get into all this, well, I'll set up this and then I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to take a quick break just to grab some water, use the bathroom. So we've got the MySQL server. So it says we already have it installed. Okay, so now we are in as root. Let's create database. What do we want to call it? We'll call it Discord RPG. And then we'll say grant all privileges on Discord RPG.star, which means all tables, to, we'll call him the Dungeon Master at localhost, identified by password. Okay. So we've got a database created now. Now, to create all the tables, what I'm going to do is go into a program called DataGrip. And this way, we don't have to create all of the MySQL commands. You can look up MySQL create table syntax, and it would look something like, let's use that table first. So let's use Discord RPG. You would say create table. We'll call it users, players. We'll call it players. Create table players, and then inside the parentheses, you got to give it all the name, all the fields. And so you'd say, field this, field that, what type, primary key this, unique that, and it can be a little bit cumbersome. So a GUI, when it comes to working with databases, helps a lot. You can use MySQL Workbench. If you don't have the JetBrains subscription, you don't have DataGrip, you can use MySQL Workbench. That's probably the program I would recommend. So it's localhost, the database is Discord RPG. Our user is Dungeon Master, and he's got a super secret password. So now we can open it up, and we can see our schemas, and we see our Discord RPG database has been created, but we don't have any tables. So let's create a new table. Let's create a table called Players, and we're just going to say stores info about player accounts. Okay, and we need a couple columns, so let's start with an ID, just to be a not null auto-incrementing primary key. Let's add user ID, which is actually going to be the Discord user ID. So I don't think the user IDs are that long, so we can go with varchar32. I think that should be fine. Let's make it not null, and it should be unique, so we can set those constraints in the database itself. You don't have to. You can do it at an app level, but I do recommend, if possible, setting the constraints in your database level as much as you can, because that will ensure that your data stays accurate. You know, if you don't want to put too much trust into your application to do all these checks, because you might end up with bad data, but the database can help enforce. Let it do its job. So where were we? We need ID, user ID, and then what do we can store, like last created or first seen. And we can call that a time. And what else do we need? So we need to track users, and I guess we can just tie like experience points. We'll just give them experience points, and for the type there we can do uint. Whatever, we'll just do int. I think there's... No, that's okay. We'll just go with int. So we got user ID, first seen. Actually, we want to store their name, their display name too. That should never be null. Well, yeah, people have weird names, but that doesn't need to be unique, actually. Okay, so that looks good. Keys, it'll just key there. There's no foreign keys yet. That looks good. So that's our basic schema for the players. Actually, we didn't need to do those indexes, but it's okay. It won't hurt. Unless we're doing tons and tons of writes on that field, I think. I don't think it'll make a big difference. Anyway, we can always talk about database tweaking and database performance later. But we've got a table now, so we're going to create a new bot to start. So we're going to close this music bot project. Actually, I'm going to make sure everything's committed. Yeah, everything's committed and caught up. So nothing to worry about here. We can close this project. Yeah, it's still running, but that's okay. Turn it off. And for this one, we're just going to create. We'll do a whole create new project through this, and we'll call this one, what do we want to call it? This is going to be Discord RPG bot, and we'll say new environment using virtual env, create it in virtual env using our base interpreter. Go ahead and create. Great. Now If we open our terminal, it automatically activates our virtual environment. We just say, we'll go with pip install discord.py, and we'll add the voice just in case we find a use for it. Maybe we can like play sound effects into a chat channel and do text to speech there. Maybe we can do that this time. Play sound effects and text to speech in voice chat. Maybe we can make some kind of NPC that you can chat with or something. But what I am going to do is show how we can set up a database, connect to it, and get all configured, and then also how to track things. Like we'll make some kind of inventory or some kind of money or some kind of experience point system, and just show how you can tie it together. Obviously, you'll want to adapt it for whatever needs you have, or I mean, if you guys want, because I did publish all this code, right? So if we go back to the dev dungeon, you know what? I think I made the new repository under my NanoDano. Yeah, so let me move this. Let me go edit the settings for our music bot and push this over to the dev dungeon project. Now where do I do that? It's at the bottom. Down at the bottom, transfer ownership. Dev, type the name of the repository. What is it? Discord music bot. And to dev dungeon. Yep. Oh, my password? Well, I suppose. Where is it? Okay. Okay, so yeah, what I wanted to say is, you know, all this stuff we've been doing, like the Minecraft Discord bot and this music bot, like if you guys want to grab a copy and set it up on your server and modify it, or if you want to modify it so it's something cool and, you know, fun that we can use on the Dev Dungeon server, that'd be cool. And if you're not on the Discord server, go to devdungeon.com and click this Join Me on Discord and buy a copy of my Security with Go book while you're at it. And so where were we? I was setting up this project. We just set up the new bot. Okay. And yeah, I'm gonna push the code that we're about to write here for this RPG bot. And any ideas you guys have, you know, I'm totally open for ideas on what we can do for RPG bot. And I'm thinking something like, you know, let me put some music back on. Jeez, I totally forgot. Okay, we can do what? What can we do with the RPG bot? Give you experience points like every day you're logged in, so people who have been on the server longer accumulate some more bonus experience points. Maybe after you reach a certain level, you get access to certain commands. Maybe you can attack people. You can, like, if you got enough experience points, you can cast a lightning bolt once a day and damage somebody. And if like 5 people gang up and lightning bolt you with all their experience points, they'll kill you and they'll get your experience. I don't know. We'll figure out how that works. But I just want to build a baseline and get it ready, so maybe we can add more to it later. Or you guys can get some ideas and give me some ideas. I'm about to take a break and go to the restroom, grab some water. So I'm hoping maybe you guys could do a little brainstorming and give me some ideas. Otherwise, I will be right back. And, you know, give me maybe less than 5 minutes and I'll be back, okay? So I'm going to play a 5-minute song and I'll try and be back before it's over. Alright, I'm back. Let's do this. Let me bring down this music. I hope you guys enjoyed the jam. Oh man, thank you, NullPixel, so much. Okay, so what's the song called? And so what I was saying, I was just kind of walking through the bot and I was showing you guys what we have here. But I think most of you guys have already been tuned in, so... the song is called Buzzsaw Feet Zircon. Yeah. Actually, this one has the album cover. So I'll paste this. I don't think this is. I don't know if that's their official video or not, but that's the song. It's pretty awesome. And just so you guys know, actually, I do have. Let me link you this if you're actually interested in the music. I've got a link to the now playing, everything that's now playing. I just gotta find it. I lost it. Okay, I'm sorry, I lost it. But it's from a web. I'll give you the website that I use. It's called Pretzel Rocks. So, yeah, basically this service Pretzel gives you stream safe music. Basically, it's all Creative Commons music or music that's been licensed, and there's a free version. And if you have the free version, then it requires that you have to show the name for all the songs, like in chat. But if you pay $5 a month, then you can stream all the music, and the play time that you do, I think, goes towards the money that the artists get. So because you're paying them at that point, you're actually giving them, part of your $5 a month, then you don't have to do the attribution as much. Okay, anyway, where were we? We're gonna build another bot. Go back to applications, new bot. This is gonna be called Dungeon Master. Yeah, sure. Call him the Dungeon Master. Let's go down to the bot. Dungeon Master. And we don't want him to be public right now. Okay, save the bot. We're gonna need to invite it to our server, so let's copy the OAuth URL and invite it. Now it's on our test server. Well, almost on our test server. Chimneys. I don't know if those are really chimneys, but yeah, none of those. Oh, those are traffic lights. I was like, there's definitely no chimneys in that picture. Alright, here we go. Oh, NullPixel, you joined the Discord server. Awesome. Good to see you here. And I'm glad you hang out on the streams. It's nice having some people to chat with. Okay, so now we got a bot that's on our server. If we can, we'll go confirm that the bot is in fact on our server and showing up offline. Go to our bot testing server. Yep, there it is, Dungeon Master offline. We're gonna need this token in a minute, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and copy it right now and go set it up right now. So we'll do the same thing. We're gonna do a file called settings.py, and we'll just say bot token equals bot, and inside of it I'm going to post my super duper secret token for the bot on the server that you guys... Oh, what did I do? It's okay, because you guys can't really... I mean, the worst you can do is get my bot to say stupid things to me, and if you do, I'll just go regenerate a new token. It's probably worth showing people how to do this. There's a regenerate button, and so that will invalidate your old token. So we can do regenerate. Yeah, it's okay. Yes, regenerate. And then now I'll copy it without revealing it. And I'll go back here and I'm going to go paste in the new one. Off screen, just like that. And then save it. And then close it. That should be good. Okay, so we're going to create a new file. We're going to call this one RPG bot. How about that? rpgbot.py. And okay, now what? What do we want to do now? Now that we've got it there, we can close that window, and we're going to start a new bot. So while we're at it, let's make the git ignore, since we're starting up a fresh project. So let's ignore the VM, ignore the py caches, ignore any PyCs, and ignore settings.py. What we'll do is create a settings.py.sample and do the same thing. Bot token equals blank. Okay. Okay, and idea. We don't want to commit our IntelliJ stuff. But, okay. Git ignore looks good. Let's also add a readme just for good measure. It's always good to do that. We'll call this one a Discord RPG bot. Okay, and it's always good to put some contact information on. You know, even though this is just a a BS example, we might use it for something. You know, we never know what it might turn into, but I want to show you guys some good practices and make the projects be somewhat proper so you can kind of see the process. That's really what is the important thing, I think, is learning. That's what I think the best thing about the live streams is seeing the actual process and the pain and anguish that goes along with it. And you guys are, what, masochists for sitting around and just watching me debug code. Okay, what are we doing? Overview. A cool RPG bot. Oh yeah. Okay, we don't really need to do anything else here. We just want to start doing the bot. So we have a MySQL database, right? So actually, we need more settings. I'm gonna create another one, just because I want to use a separate file, and we'll call this one. We need what? A DB name, a DB host, a DB user, and a DB pass. And that was super secret. And user was... fuck, I already forgot. Let's see. Select user from MySQL.users. Dungeon Master. Okay. Dungeon Master. DB host is localhost. DB name is show databases. It's called Discord _ RPG. Close quote. Okay. And actually, yeah, what I'm gonna do here, see, I should have put spaces between these. There should be spaces, but what you can do is you can put your cursor there. You can hold Alt and click, and then you get multiple cursors. You got a cursor on each line, and you can even do home and end and use control to like do relative jumps. And so what I'm gonna do is home, control 4 back here, so space. Then go to the other side and do space, and I just, modified all those lines at one time. You can do some cool stuff with the multi-cursor. So, let's go ahead and save the spelling. I like to get my code being squiggly free. So we got our settings.mysql. Actually, I'm just going to call it SQL settings.py. Whatever, that'll work for now. We can always rename and refactor it later, and I encourage that. So we got that. We're gonna need a couple things. We're gonna need Discord. We're gonna need to connect to Discord, and we're also gonna need to connect to MySQL. So let's do the MySQL part first. And there's a library I like to use called PyMySQL. The reason I like to use it is because it is a pure Python implementation of the client, which means there's really no dependencies. It makes it easier to install, and it works pretty steadily across platforms. Yeah, okay, so we got to do a pip install PyMySQL. That was it, nice and fast. Here's an example. Here we go. Let's just rip their quick use example. And we're just going to use this as kind of a baseline to start. So we need the import, obviously. We need that. Connect. And so we're going to need our settings. So we're going to say from SQL settings import star. And then here we'll just drop in db host, db user, db pass, and db name. Dict cursor is good. The cursor class, so there's different types of cursors that run through the database and pull all the data. And the most convenient one is the dict cursor, and that returns a dictionary with just key value named pairs, so it makes it really easy to pull your data out of the results. So we're going to connect and use the cursor, and actually we don't want to. Yeah, we do want to create stuff. So let's see. Connection is not auto commit by default, so you must save your changes. That's fine. So we can roll back if there's ever any problem, or just not commit. And create a new record. Yeah, okay. So insert with a commit. Here is read a single record. And so we'll want to like break these out into separate functions. Obviously, this is just the examples to use, so I'm going to comment these out and just keep them around for reference until we set up a couple functions of our own and have something, something to stand on its own. And then the Discord stuff, now that I've got the MySQL sorted, I'm gonna run this just to make sure that, the connection works. It's pulling the settings properly, and it actually did a connection. And we'll run it again just to make sure we got a connection object. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, so we'll say, why not print connected to, and we'll say the name of the database, db name. Run it real quick, make sure it works. Connected to database, good. Okay, so we got a database connection. Let's get a Discord connection. And for reference, I'm just gonna pull up. You could go to the official reference, or I'm familiar with the code that I wrote in my tutorials, so I'm just gonna rip my code from there as a starting place, and that's at devdungeon.com. Okay, so down here, way down under the Discord stuff, I'm gonna post all that code. Okay, so MySQL stuff at the top, Discord stuff right now is at the bottom. Let's move all of these imports up to the top together. And then let's comment out the background task part, because I don't think we need any background tasks right now, but we might in a second. So I know it's looking nasty right now, but we're just, we're putting it all together at first, so we'll clean it up and it'll look real nice in a little bit. But I don't want this to just be there like that. I want it to, we'll say if dunder name equals main, dunder main, then we'll create a client. Yeah, we'll fix this all up. Run bot. So we're gonna want to make this a class again, kind of like we did before. So let's make a class. We'll call it RPG bot. And then we basically just need to indent everything here, one level, and then kind of classify it. So bot prefix, we can actually leave that over in the settings or something. Right now we can put that up at the top as the constant. Client, we'll make an init function, the initializer function, the constructor. And inside we will, let's say, we'll take the token as the first argument, and then we'll create the client as a class property, right? So self.client equals Discord bot with the prefix, and then we'll have another one called prepare client. And again, what we're going to do with this prepare client function is set up all of the commands and the events, and we're going to update the decorators to reflect that the client is now a class property. So we're just prefixing all of the client dots with self dot. And it's easy to spot them because PyCharm is highlighting them with red squigglies. And over here we see we've got some squigglies under here, and it says continuation, line under indented. So these follow-up lines should line up right under the first one. So we can do Alt-Enter here, and we can hit reformat file, and bam, it pep-aidifies our stuff. Thank you, PyCharm. Okay, so any more red squigglies? Yeah, down here. Okay. Yeah, so actually what we want to do is bot equals new RPG bot, and then we want to pass in the bot token to it, right? And then we can say bot.run. And in a run function, we can say self.client.run self.token. And we'll have to store the token from the constructor. Okay. So now we've got control over running it and the bot token. Now we can just say import Alt-Enter. Alt-Enter is the shortcut for, PyCharm tips. Red squiggly, Alt-Enter, it suggests what we want to import. We do it, it goes ahead and adds it up at the top for us. From settings, import bot token. Thank you. Now, let's see. We've got all these commands from the tutorial, and we don't necessarily want them. I like this 8-ball command because it's got all of the goodies. It's got the name, the description, the brief, the aliases, the past context. So It's a good reference if you need the full decorator, so I'm going to keep that around for a little bit longer too. The square, we don't need that one. On ready, I'll keep that one so we can say, you know, yeah, we're logged in now. And chain, we're going to play. So what do we want it to say? So on the status, if you go back here, so it says like Chatty Cathy here is chatting with humans. Oops. We can set the status for this bot. And what do we want it to say? We'll say playing Dungeon Master. He's playing Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master is playing Dungeon Master. That works for me. Okay. Okay. Now what else? We don't need a Bitcoin command. And you know, I actually don't like this being named client. So I'm going to right click refactor, rename, say bot. Boom. Now it's all self.bot throughout the file and wherever else. Okay. I think we can ditch that for now. We will ditch the Bitcoin one just to clean it up. Okay, now we're starting to clean up some more. Now let's make these into functions. Let's say, well, not yet. So where are we now? We've got our Discord bot class, and we've got it connecting to MySQL up here, which is good. Actually, we can make this a function. So let's say def connect database. And we will, we'll return the connection. Okay, and then on the init, what we can do is store the DB connection. And we'll say self.db equals connect database. Okay. Now I'd like to do some test. We should probably run it, make sure it still runs and works. And all we should see it do is tell us it connected to the database and tell us that it logged in and look like it's logged in. Okay, improper token has been passed. Did somebody go revoke my token? Maybe I copied it wrong. So let me go back to the Discord developer portal and go check out my bot. Let's say regenerate. Yeah, go ahead, regenerate. I'm gonna copy very carefully. Now we're gonna go back to settings and go back and paste. Now something doesn't seem right because it shouldn't it show a little star and tell me that it changed? No, that worked. I just must have messed up my paste earlier. Okay, cool. So now we see down here in the log it says connected to Discord RPG. We should probably be a little more specific and say connected to database is. And then down here we'll say connected to Discord as that. Okay. Stop it, restart it. Make sure our little minor changes went through. Okay. Go back to Discord itself. Make sure the bot looks online. Dungeon Master is online playing Dungeon Master. We're already getting there. Okay. So what now? We've got RPG bot, prepare client. Now we want to do on message, right? We want to, well, let's see. What do we want it to do? Where the world is at our fingertips here. So what about like on player join? Log the player in DB. So just like create a record that the player exists as a player. And how about say hello, convince them to play, give them the commands. How about on message? We'll give the player XP points, but only once per minute. How about that? That way, people don't just start spamming messages, because it won't benefit them. They can't just spam messages and make money or XP points. But if they send at least one message per minute, so like actively chatting gives you experience, but not not for every message, just kind of every minute that you're active, I guess. And then what can you do with XP points? Get commands, attack people, craft stuff. I don't know, what would you craft? we'll figure out how to make it actually an RPG. But again, this is really just to kind of show you how to build your own thing with a database in the back end to a Discord bot. So on message, give them XP, but only once per minute. What else? We want to give them some commands, right? So there's a help command by default, and let's see, stats, so you can see what your stats are like. What about a scoreboard or a leaderboard? Rank, so we can do stats to see your stuff, or your stats, how much XP points you have, what level you are. Rank to see, let's see, check your XP and your attributes. Rank, list top X players on the server, and then we can do inventory, and you can create aliases for these to make shortcuts. Inventory, list your inventory and money. We just do everything based. I think I'm gonna avoid money and just do everything based off experience points. So like, you earn the experience points and then you spend them to buy things, and who knows, maybe you can get some. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe you can request the song with your points, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's. Maybe we need like a buy, because we need something to go in the inventory. We need a way to add stuff to the inventory and do things. So yeah, why not? Actually, what we can do is just and then if XP is greater than threshold, what I'm doing is just kind of pseudocoding here. This is a normal step. So if XP is greater than threshold, then you just automatically earn an item. Add item to inventory. Or what we can do is say, like, on level up, add item to inventory. And every time we add XP points, we can check if they level up. So in the add XP function, check if they level up. Okay, I think that's going to be plenty for us to work with. So let's try and implement that. If we can do that, we can call it a mini RPG. Okay, so there is an on-player join event, but I'm going to need to double check what the event is. So I'm going to go to the discord.py docs, and there is event reference. That's what we want. And on the event reference, we can look around and see all of the events that are there. So there's the on error one that NoPixel mentioned earlier. on air. Usually when an event raises an uncaught exception, a traceback is printed. Yeah. So if you want to change this behavior and handle the exception for whatever reason yourself, this event can be overridden. So you'd put like essentially the equivalent of a switch statement in there and handle all your exceptions. So that's how you could handle and it would give you specifically the I'm already playing event or whatever. Okay, so there's on message. We're going to want that one, right? So this one here. Event, it's on message. And we'll just pass for now. And what else do we want? We want on player join. Maybe we can give, how about, no. On member join, there it is. On member join member. So we're going to do another decorator for self bot event. And then async def on, what was it? On player join? On member join. That's what it was. Oops. On member join. And the member is the first argument passed. And so on message, is the message the first thing you get? Yeah. So message is the first parameter that should go in this function. AV Music says, noob here. Well, welcome noob. You are more than welcome here. If you want to see some more basic tutorials on Discord stuff, go to devdungeon.com and you can search the blog for the Discord tutorials, or go here. I'll just paste this tag for you. Oops, that's totally not what I was trying to paste. There you go. So I've got some JavaScript ones and some basic Python ones, and you can learn some basic stuff there. I'm doing a little more advanced stuff here. So on the message, yeah, we've got that. What else? We had on level up. Well, we're going to do that ourselves. Okay, so here we want to create a record, right? Well, yeah, first time somebody joins, create a record for them. So let's go back to the database first. And we've got this database table called players. And there are a couple fields we need. Cool, so I was able to copy and paste all those fields, and these are the ones we need. We don't need to provide it the ID. We do need to provide it the user ID, first scene, this, that, and the other. Okay, so now we're gonna want this code here that shows us how to do an insert. And so let's create a function called add user to DB. And what we're going to need is username and display name. Wait, we need user ID and display name. User ID, display name. Okay. And then we're going to paste in this code, uncomment it. We want, in this one, we want to add, and the connection, so that's actually going to be self.db, self.db, and this is actually going to be a function inside the RPG bot. Okay. So actually we want to insert into players user ID, display name, values, placeholder. And then you use cursor.execute, and this handles the sanitizing of the values. And we don't, let's see, user ID is going to come from the values that were passed in. Okay, so now we have a nice little function that we can call whenever a member joins. So we'll say add user to DB, and we should have member dot. Let me go to the reference here. So if you go to the discord.py reference again, and we go to data classes. Under data classes, we can find the member. There it is. Now here we can see all the things on it. There's voice state, roles, joined at. Oh! I didn't realize that the member object actually had a joined at date. That's really nice because I was wondering what to do for the people who were already on the server. I was like, well, if we start the bot today, then everybody's, all the people who are already here are going to be first seen the same day. So having joined at is nice, and that actually changes what I want to do slightly. But what I was really looking for was display name. So the nickname can change, so I'm hesitant to use that because the user can change their nickname and then things get weird. So maybe I will just store the ID and if I ever need to do that, any plan for Telegram bot? No, I'm not familiar with Telegram. Okay, so for first scene, oh yeah, we need the first scene value too, actually. So let's actually just pass in the member. We'll just pass in the member. And what we'll do is member.id. I believe that's their user ID. Subclass of user. Okay, user has... Oh, there we go. That's the username that doesn't change. So... And that's like the full username, like at this person #1234. So I think that's like their proper account name. So I still want to store that. What do we have here? We have ID, name, and we want the first scene. First scene. Values, this, that, and the third thing. So now we've got member ID, member.name, and member.joined@. And it should intelligently handle the joined at as a date object. Okay, so on member join, add user to the database. But, we also want to do it because that on member join is not going to get triggered for people who are already on the server. So when the bot starts up, let's just have it add everybody if it needs to. So first we'll get user, and we'll just do user ID. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is create a function called getUser, and it'll return none if the user doesn't exist. And so we can use this to add the user only if it doesn't exist. So we can say if get user, just return. Why do you need a name? You can still easily change the username. To mention them, like but then I mean I guess you could look them up, but I'm not positive. I guess you could pull the user list from the server and then find them by the ID and then load their name. So, I mean, you're right. We technically don't need to. I just thought it might be good for like tagging people and stuff. So, I'm gonna leave it for now, but I'm gonna keep thinking about that. So we haven't implemented this yet. We want a member.id. Okay, so get user is going to check if a user exists. And at the beginning when we load, we want to, well, let's see, let's put the database further up. Connect, pair the client, and then here, let's say, self dot add all users to DB, and then what this will do is basically when the server when it joins. Actually, I don't want to do it there. I want to do it on ready. Yeah, on ready. I want to add all users to the database. But what that will do is say, go through all users on the server and then attempt to add them. And then the add user is already going to check if they exist. You know, we could, because I'm pretty sure there's a unique constraint on the database. The database should also throw an error if you try to insert the same number twice, which would end up getting caught in the exception, which this clause doesn't have. Error adding user. Print out the message. So just some primitive error handling there. Actually, I guess the reason that they left it off was... Actually, I don't want to close the DB there. So let's see. If there was an error adding the user, yeah, I do want to continue. I don't want it to just... stop. Let's see. So yeah, I'm actually going to go back to the database and I'm going to rip out and delete that table, or that column. So display name, I should be able to say drop. Yeah, alter table players, drop column display name. Yeah, we'll skip that. We'll always pull it dynamically. Okay, and do I need to commit? No, it's on auto. So we're good. The database should be all done and updated. So yeah, let's just delete display name here. We'll just store the ID. The member names can be real wacky too, so they'll probably screw up the database. But it should be UTF-8, so it should handle it, but we'll see. So where are we? Add user to DB safely and intelligently, and okay, add all users to DB and get user. We need to do both of these. To do implement. To do progress. Okay. So what do we do? Yeah, you got to go through all the users on the server, and assuming there's more than one server, we're going to just kind of go under the assumption that this bot only exists on one server. Madness45 says, test. Was your test successful? So we want bot dot, I want self dot bot dot get all channels. No. Get all members, get all users. Am I a furry? I am furry, but I'm not a furry. Get all members. It would be cool to see if SQL injection via Discord is possible. Absolutely, it could be possible, but not with... If you're doing it like this, with the execute statement, this essentially becomes a prepared statement, and it should intelligently restrict your inputs to the variables that they're meant to be in. So this should be safe, but you know, we could try it out. We can try adding a quote or 1 equals 1 as a username. Now let's go copy the little Bobby Tables name. Somebody create a little Bobby Tables Discord account, and you can join the server. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have to show you. It's an XKCD comic, and it's an awesome one. And so this mom gets a call from the school and says, "Hi, this is your son's school calling. We're having some computer trouble." And she says, "Oh dear, did he break something?" "Well, in a way. Did you really name your son Robert, single, quote, parenthesis, semicolon, drop table student, semicolon, dash, dash?" "Oh yes, little Bobby Tables we call him." "Well, we've lost this year's student records. I hope you're happy. And I hope you've learned to sanitize your database inputs." This is a good old SQL injection joke. It's a classic, it really is. Nice setup, looks like good content. Thank you, Madness45. Welcome. I'm trying to do streams daily, so if you like programming and security and gaming kind of stuff, all revolving around developing and programming, then you'll probably like some of the other nights too. Okay, so you can even get their image URL. Where are we? Let's go back to get all members, and then let's say for member in get all members, add user self.add user to DB, and then pass in the member. There's always a relevant XKCD. Yeah, there really is. I got a couple. I do some trainings, and I've got a couple of those littered around. Actually, another one that I think really makes a good point. And welcome, Sec DevOps AI, Mr. Ron Eddings. Good to have you here. Check out the Sec DevOps AI channel if you're not familiar with it. So we were XKCD. It's the one where they talk about entropy and password strength. Like he actually does the accurate math here. I verified it. So this shows how a password like this is actually really crappy to a password like this on the bottom. And so you can see each square here represents a bit, and 1 bit contributes to the entropy. So there's 1 bit of entropy. So for example here, this is very common. You have like a word with a little bit of leet speak, and then 1 number and 1 special character at the end. And sometimes they're reversed, right? So sometimes people put troubadour 1 exclamation point. Or in this one, right, like troubadour and 3. And so typically you want to try both orders. If you're brute forcing it, you want to try both orders. Symbol first with 1 number, and 1 number with 1 symbol back and forth. So there's 2 possible options, order unknown, 1 bit of entropy, 1 bit, two possibilities. And so because there's 10 numbers 10 numbers, if there's a single digit, 0 through 9, you need 3 bits to represent 10 options. 2 bits wouldn't be enough because that would only be 4, right? 4 options. No, wait. Yes, right? No. What's the largest number you can have with 2 bits? 1 and 2, 4, 3, 4. There's 4 options, yeah. Multiply that by 2, so you get 8. Wait, that doesn't seem right. There should be 10, so you should need 4 bits to have... Or is that 15? Yeah, because this is the 1s, the 2s, and the 4s. You can have whatever. And caps, there's 1 bit because it's either capital or it's not, so there's 1 bit, 2 options. Punctuation, there's only a couple dozen special characters at pound, dollar, so there's 4 bits. 4 bits to represent the amount of possibilities for a symbol there. And then a couple lead speak substitutions, there's not a ton, right? O, 0, 4, A. So you can... It only takes about 3 bits worth of chance trying. And then the most entropy there, so obviously the most comes from just what word you pick. And this number, the number of bits here, represents how many words there are in the dictionary, I think. Is about 10,000 common words or something. But anyway, it shows you how many entropy bits you get out of all these little things. And it makes it really hard to remember, but if you just remember 4 words, you get the largest entropy bonus from each word. Anyway, don't want to bore you guys too much there, but that's another good one. Okay, so we're adding all the users to the database, and we're going through each member, adding them to the DB. And add to DB should automatically check, see if the user already exists. And we need to implement that real quick. So we're going to say do a query to look up user by ID. And this is where we can go back to the reference code that we have commented out. Give it a good old paste. Uncomment. Delete the insert because we are only interested in the reading a single record. So we'll say with self.db, we'll grab another cursor. And we're going to say select... yeah, we only need to grab one thing to see if it exists. So select ID from players where user ID equals placeholder. And then we execute with the placeholder value, which is going to be user ID that was passed in. Fetch 1, and then print result now. Now, where does it... Is it going to throw an exception if it doesn't exist? Or do we have to check if the result is empty? So let me go check the PyMySQL documentation real quick. Okay. Result fetch 1. Let's try self.d. Actually, we don't want that either, so we'll just exception. We'll catch all exceptions and just say error looking up user ID, and then a new line in the message of the error. So user ID E. All right, we can see if that works. Well, let's assume one of the two options. It either throws an exception when it can't find one, or the result is none. I'm going to assume it just returns result is none, so we'll say if not result, print user does not exist with the user ID. Else, we're going to say add user. Wait. We'll just return the user result. We'll return the result, which is the user object. Okay, I think this will work if my first assumption was right. Otherwise, we'll have to make one slight modification. Let's give it a run. No. Okay, good. User does not exist. It should have added them. So let's check the database. Let's do a refresh. And it added the user IDs. Excellent. And first scene. Good. It accurately added the first scene. I want to change. Well, we can leave that. That's fine. Close Windows. Okay, back to PyCharm. Now, if we stop it and run it again, we should not get these messages anymore. So let's go to the add user function again. And if it gets through and it actually does, we'll say added user blank to database. And we'll go with the user ID, member.id. Okay, so let's run it again. And because the users are there this time, we should not get the message that says user does not exist. Okay, so everything's looking good. Let's just go back to the database and make sure it didn't duplicate any entries, and it didn't. So that's good. So one thing I want to do actually is I want to set the XP points to something. And so I'm going to modify this table, and I'm actually going to change join server date. No, first scene is fine, but I want to change XP points so that it's not null. And I'm going to delete all the records. It's committing. Okay, so if I try and run the bot again, it should throw an exception and tell me that oh, did I mess it up? Yeah. Okay, hold on. Modify table. Fine. We'll call it join server date. And over here we can just make a quick adjustment. Actually, we can delete all this code. We don't need that anymore. Now, first scene we're going to call join server date. I wanted to set the XP points to 0 so that they have, I guess it's a, actually, can I give it a number? Well, it's defined as a number in the database, so it should accept an integer object. Let's wait, I need to make one more quick change. In the add user, I need to set the default XP to 0. So add user to DB. In the parameters, we need to pass 0. Okay, so if we stop it and restart it, it should find no users, and it should add all of them. Okay. A number is required. Is 0 not a number? A number is required, not a string. But I didn't I? Is that not a number? Hold on, I'm having a brain fart here. Let's try with the. Hold on. We'll see. A good way to debug is just to trial and error a bunch of different things. Okay, yeah, you know, that worked. I guess because in the end, we are converting it all to strings to go into SQL. And it's only in execute where I need to pass in the actual object or the date object or whatever. Okay, so we can go back and confirm that it added them. XP points 0. Good. Excellent. Okay, so now when the bot starts up, it makes sure that everybody's in the database. And whenever somebody joins the server, right here, on member join, if they join, it will add them to the database if they don't already exist. So if somebody leaves the server and comes back, I guess it'll maintain a record there. Okay. Okay, so we've got our users being added, and then we can look them up and update experience points. Now, we need an inventory, right? Well, let's hold off on that for now. Let's just work with the experience points, and we might be able to just call it there. So, where are we? We got pretty much almost everything done. There's only... Oh, maybe we could make some kind of gambling thing where, like, you can gamble your XP points to a game of chance for a chance to get more experience points. We'll come up with some ideas. Maybe you guys... Actually, you know what? After I kind of wrap up, before we go offline, I'm gonna browse around and see what kind of RPG bots may already exist for Discord. That way maybe we can start brainstorming on some ideas for other ones. But before I get tainted by other people's ideas, I just want to finish getting this framework set up and ready to go. And so actually one thing I'm curious about is I'd like to save this schema and put it in the README or store it here as like database schema.sql. I'll call it .mysql to be specific. And that way, if somebody wants to recreate the database, they can do that. Now, I should be able to use this tool to export the SQL. Dump data? No, I don't want the data. I just want the schema. Okay. Dump with MySQL dump. Kinda. Will it? Yeah, here we go. I want data on no data. So you can tell it. You can tell it no data. How do you tell MySQL? It's like tables only. MySQL dump tables only. MySQL dump gives you the entire database with the -d option. Let's just see what we get. No, see, they actually dumped out all the player info. So, real quick, how do we do this without... Run SQL script, restore... Actually, okay, so if you shift in JetBrains, you get the full plethora of commands. So let's see if there's an export. Dump tables. Table export. Let's see. Let's go. I'm still trying to figure out what's, because MySQL dump is a good option. Let's see. Tables only, no data. I've done this before, I just don't remember what the command is. -- no data. -- no data. That's what we want. Okay, so I'm not sure where it saved that file, but whatever. So let's go to dump data to file. Well, let's see. Can we... No. dump with MySQL dump. Output path. That's okay. Am I missing something? No. Can we do that? No. Can we just add an arbitrary flag? Can we SQL inject it? No, it doesn't let us do that. So what's the deal? Okay, I'm going to come back to that because I can do that with SQL dump in the command line. And I will. I will do that in just a second. So, well, let's just go ahead and do that right now. So, clear that. We are in the RPG bot, Discord RPG bot. So, now from here, we're going to do a MySQL dump. -u dungeon master -p password Discord RPG is the name of the database. -- no data. Output that to the database schema. Oh, now you tell me it could be insecure. Okay, let's open this up, and now there's no user data, which is good. Just the schema. Okay, so just in case you need it, we'll say database schema is in database schema dot MySQL. We'll say MySQL database schema is in MySQL. Okay. So we got the SQL. I think it's good and important to keep that. Keep all the information you need for a project together. Don't leave yourself hanging. Don't leave future you hanging. Okay, where were we? We're kind of finishing this up. We're almost done. Just kind of cleaning it up and getting ready to push it to GitHub. Now, what's left? On member join. Actually, let's make a function called add experience. We'll say we'll just say update experience points, because we might want to add some, we might want to take some away. So add experience points and the value, change value. We'll just call it points. You could just pass it a negative number. Actually, we need self and we need a def tag. Okay, and this is in the wrong place. We don't want to do this inside the prepare client. We want to do this, as a normal class function. And so we're going to want to get the user, pull the XP points, update. We'll say add, or subtract points, and we're going to add. If it's a negative number, then technically it subtracts, but this is beside the point, obviously. And then update, commit. Okay, so we're going to have an easy way to modify a player's points. We're going to need a user to operate on too. So let's go with the member and the points. So we already have a nice function called getMember, right? Or getUser. We should probably call it getPlayer, because that lines up with our database a little better. So let's just refactor that to getPlayer. Okay, and okay. Points, and how many points? So we're gonna say, wait. Yeah, that's, you know, we could do an insert without getting the player. We can just say update players set. Let me Google the syntax real quick. MySQL update syntax. Update table set this. Example, please. Hold on. Yeah, set the blank equals blank equals blank. No parentheses. Okay, no parentheses. It's just set XP points equals. Oh, you know what? We are going to have to get the user in order to get the current experience points. So we'll say player info equals self.getUser get player, and I think we just pass in the member object, and it should be player info, and because it returns the dictionary, it should be XP points. And let's print the type just to ensure it should be an integer. And we should be able to say set XP points equals S, where user ID equals placeholder. Okay. And so we should be able to do SQL equals that cursor dot execute the SQL with the values of player info XP points plus the points to change, and then the member.id. Okay, so we're going to say with self.db.cursor as cursor, and then do those things. And we really should put this all in a try statement. Oh, we need to commit to db commit. Print updated user experience points from this to that. A little logging info. Even though we're just using print, we can easily go back later and change it up. So update user experience points from player info XP points to new point value. From this to that. From this to that. And what's the error here? Oh, there's no exception. There's no except exception as e print error updating XP points for user, and then the error message, and add the member ID and the error message. Okay, we're just about getting done here. Okay, so now we have a function to update the experience points, and let's give it a try. So anytime somebody sends a message, let's update the experience points of the message sender. I think it's, let's go look up the message object again. So discord.py message object. So we go to data classes, message, And we want the author. The author is what we want. And what do we want here? Control P pulls up the parameters. Oh, self.update experience points, right? And then now we can do Control P, get the parameters to help us out. And so it's member and then the points. So every time somebody sends a message, we will give them 1 point. Why not? We'll just leave it like that for now. So on message, update experience points by 1. And we can add level up later. And so we got stats. We want to add the stats command. Async def stats. And context. And we need self bot command decorator. And then what we want the user to be able to basically get their stats. So we want the bot to reply with no, it's right? Yeah, bot.say. Why is it highlighted? Oh, self.bot.say. And then we want to say stats for. Actually, I think we can give it a nice. We'll do a nice formatted stats for user. We'll say experience points. We'll say joined server. We'll give out the date, experience points. And that's it. That's all you get. And then close formatting. And do this. Okay. Is that it? Okay, let's give this a try. I should be able to do stats. Oh, I'm gonna have to obviously pull the stats. So we'll say player equals self.get player context message. Wait a second. How do we get the author? Bot command. Having a brain fart here. So if we've got the context, where's the context? Is there a context object defined around here somewhere? It's suggesting me Japanese stuff. That's okay. Context. Come on, think. How do we get the member ID in a command? Let me go refer to my tutorial real quick. Context.message, yeah, okay. Context.message.author. Context.message.author.I. No, just the author. We pass in the object. And then we get back our database player info. Can we just do... I've never done this with the triple quotes, but we'll see if it works. So we want player... We want context.message.author.mention. Then we want the player join server date and player XP points. Let's give this a shot. We've done a lot of changes since we restarted it and ran it. Okay, it's connected. It's looks like it's stable. So let's go. Say hello. Okay. Key error. XP points. What did I name it? It's XP points. Is it because it's a number? Let's see. Print type. Oh. Let's see. Okay, next song. This one is just like grinding on my nerves. pprint.pprint player info. Actually, let's do debug mode. Let's do debug mode there. Debug. Come say hi. And okay, it stopped at our breakpoint. Let's see what's going on. Here's our player info dictionary. Oh, it's because when we're getting, yeah, I need to do select star. Because when we were getting player before, all I was doing was grabbing the ID, but I want to grab all the fields. So let's stop, close, stop, do run again without debug. Go say astv. Okay, yeah, now it's complaining about strings. I think it's complaining about strings and string and integer problems. String has no attribute ID. Okay, so this is not the update experience points. Yeah, what I want is actually to pass. I want to pass the message author here. Okay, stop, restart. Go say fix the exceptions. None type is not subscriptable. Where is it empty? Player info? Oh, you know what? I guess it didn't like the star, and do I need to do that? No, that looks weird. And go. Yeah, okay. I think I might need to do all the fields individually. Select user ID, join server date, and XP points. Okay, stop, run, post, verify. What? What's going on here? Get player. Yeah. What's the problem? None type is not subscriptable. Player info. Player info. Okay, so why is player info being none? Why is get player? Wait, okay. Get player just wants the user ID. Okay, so update experience points. Get player just wants the ID. So right here, I should just be passing member ID. Okay, stop. Play. Post. Check. Okay, getting better, getting better. Int. It is an int. Not enough arguments for format string. Okay, this should be a quick fix. Oh, I need the username. So this is going to be member dot name. No data. Oh yeah, you can actually set up your database in PyCharm too. So you don't have to use data grip. But I think this will work now. So if I do play, I'm gonna go post a message. And I go back. Okay, now I don't get any more errors. I can delete this. I can delete all these debug prints. I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna play again. Say a message. Go back and verify. Everything looks good. Just for the sake of formatting, I'm gonna do this. Okay. Let me go check the database and make sure that my experience points did in fact get updated. Good, I have my hard-earned 3 experience points. And let's go for 4. I should have 4 experience points now. I am number 1 on the server, so y'all need to catch up. Okay. Okay, time to start cleaning up and seeing where there's anything left. I think we're about ready to wrap it up. We'll kind of recap. Let's see, so I'm gonna make this window a little bit bigger. Okay, let's start up at the top. Def connect database, that's fine. It can be function outside of the class like that. So we have a class called RPG bot. I'm gonna collapse everything and open this up. So I want to see what order the functions are in, because I'd like them to be in a nice, intelligible order. So I want to put init up top, run right there. I want to put the prepare client right below that. Oh, that needs to go down a level. Like that. Actually, all this does too. Oh, I didn't try stats. It's still running. Let me try the stats command. Exclamation stats. It looks like it must have had an error. It just didn't work. Await self-dup bot.say. So you want stats? Okay, now why did that one not work? Self-bot command. Self. Do I need to pass it any parameters? Where's this one? Oh, I think you need to at least do a name, and I have to tell it to pass the context. So name equals stats, alias, statistics, and I mean that's it. Stats. That's all you get. Brief player stats. RPG player stats. Description. Get detailed information about your RPG character. Okay. Pass context true. Da da da. Now. I hit debug. Did I turn off all my breakpoints? Looks like I did. Okay. So we've got run, prepare client, and then let's see. Let's start with get player. Get player. Add all users to DB. Add users to DB. Update experience points. And then the main. So if you don't want to run this file directly, you can import the class and use it. Let's go ahead and do another prefix. Okay. Why not get another? Imports look clean. Bot prefix, function. Okay, let's expand everything. Okay, this is highlighted because it needs a dialect. We're going to say MySQL. And when you give it a SQL dialect, then it kind of ensures your queries look good. So now it's also saying no data source configured. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick just to show you can do that. Download the driver, no problem. What I want to do is up here. Up here, click the plus and say add MySQL, localhost, Discord RPG, user, Dungeon Master, password is secret. Okay, now that we have a data source created, we can actually view and edit our database right inside PyCharm. So if we pull open the database tab on the right, we can actually see schemas and all that same good stuff. And now that we have that set up, you see how it knows what to do with the SQL better. It understands that they are SQL statements. Syntax highlights. It'll even verify that your query doesn't look broken. And you know what? Yeah, it's so cool. Look, if you hold Control and you mouse over, not only do you get like the help info, but you can click on it and it brings you to the definition. And with like Django templates, you follow through. But look, if you hold Control, it even tells you table Discord RPG players. It tells you exactly what table it's using. And I bet you can even click it. I bet it'll open up. There, it just opened it up right to the thing. I bet each field even. Look at that. Awesome. PyCharm is really, really awesome. Okay, so we've got update experience points, add user, add all users, get player. So we've got all the makings for an RPG. You know, the only thing we could really add might be an inventory, and we'll save that for another day, though. Maybe we'll do a part 2 after we get some ideas, and we will add some cool features to it. So I want to copy these SQL settings too to a sample file. And in the git ignore, I want to ignore, well, here's what I really want to do. These SQL settings should just go in the settings file like this. And we'll just go ahead and delete my settings file now since we're done. We don't need it. And SQL settings, we will just delete. It's not safe. Is there a virus? Okay, just kidding, of course. Okay, so in the settings now, we need to make one slight change back in the code because now all these are red, right? So we can delete the SQL settings line, and over here we can just say, well, let's be explicit. Yeah, let's be explicit. DB host, DB user. You could just do a star, but it's nice to know where these things come from in the code, and this can help. Okay, now these are broken because they're all in the sample file, and I don't have them in the production, in the regular one. Copy settings from settings.py.sample to settings.py. Okay, and run with Python RPG bot.py. Yeah, we gotta do whatever, pip install discord.py. Just like that. You need to invite it, obviously, but we're gonna assume that knowledge is there. Okay. Oh, the stats. Did the stats ever work? Well, it didn't break. It's still running. Let's try it out. Yeah. Okay. I think... Let's see. I think I got it working with, by adding this past context. So, I think we're good to go. I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope it works. But what I'm gonna do now is commit it all and push it, so my fine folks in the audience can play with it if they want to. So let's git add everything, git status, make sure nothing weird got added, git commit, stable working RPG bot, sort of. Stable working RPG bot framework? We'll go with that. So it's a building block to build something on. It's a good starting place. Okay, so yeah, git remote. Let's go create a repo real quick. And we're gonna do new repository under Dev Dungeon. We're gonna call it Discord RPG bot. Simple framework for a Discord RPG bot. And we already have a README license. I'm not even gonna give it a license. It's honestly I should. It's good to add a license so that people can use your stuff, but I hope that's assumed here. Git remote, add origin, that git push origin master, verify. Yes, our Discord RPG bot. And it looks like it's all ready to go. I think we can call that a win. The one last thing I wanted to do before we're done here is look around at other Discord bots, Discord RPG bots, and get some ideas. I'm sure there's some around. But before we do that, I'll go ahead and do my little spiel and say, go check out devdungeon.com. There's lots of other Discord tutorials among all kinds of other things, from security to gaming and just fun stuff. Come join Discord, come hang out. We have a Minecraft server that we've been working on setting up at minecraft.devdungeon.com. It's got some cool Discord integration. My book, go check out Security with Go if you like Go or want to learn Go and or security. Good stuff in there. And there's the Dev Dungeon YouTube channel where you are watching this right now. I'm gonna try to stream daily. Been doing it for about a week, streaming some live coding. I'm gonna try and keep doing some more, so go ahead and subscribe if you like hanging out. And let's close out by looking at some Discord RPG bots and see what's going on, see what other people have come up with. In Idle RPG bot with shop system, characters, classes, dungeons, items, PvP, economy, gambling, marriage, music. Wow, that one seems pretty intense. Okay, somebody posted some porn in the Discord. We're gonna go ahead and ban them. Ban them. And let's see. Go ahead and ban. Goodbye. You are not welcome. That's very uncool. Later. And we got, let's see. Gaming Gal RPG bot based on a futuristic universe. Oh, I didn't quite ban that person yet. Ban. Yeah, goodbye. Let's see. Boxbot, Idle RPG, Enderbot, Viewbot. Let's check out this Idle RPG one. Where did it go? It's on 69,000 servers. An idle RPG, yeah, okay, we read that. Got some screenshots or something? Let's see. Screenshot, website, visit website. they have gambling in it. Okay. Oh, this is cool. Discordbots.org. And you get a little card that shows you how many servers it's on, how many upvotes. Interesting. I didn't know about this. I guess that's the site we're on right now. So, see all the commands. Take a look at the tutorial. Okay. The website's a little laid out a little weird. Okay, adventure. Status. Check your character's adventure status. Adventure. Cancel deaths. Active adventure. Adventures. That's cool. So it's like, I guess you like start a dungeon and it's kind of like a either a mud or a single player thing where you know, look around. What have you found? Choose which door to go through, and I guess you can go loot stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Profile inventory. Upgrade weapon. Economy. XP shows your current XP count. Rename your character. Battles. Active battle. List active battles. Battle an enemy. Battle yourself for the money you choose. Classes. Steal. Pet. Rangers have pets. Trees. Change your class, so there's a class system. It's all pretty cool. This one looks really, really thorough. I'm gonna have to check it out. It looks like they put a lot of time into this. It'd be cool if they had, I don't know, a couple screenshots or something. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Thanks for joining. It was good having you all here, and any suggestions, any ideas you have for bots or anything we can do to make the server cooler would be great. So keep it coming, and stay tuned tomorrow night. We're going to do some more. Have a good night.